There's also plenty of movement activity in the transfer market with that first bonus transfer window closing on Tuesday. Mark McAdam is back, and we've got some new news regarding a potential incoming for Arsenal.
Yeah, huge news for Arsenal fans.
The name on everyone's lips wasn't a continental superstar or a headline-chasing megastar from La Liga. It was a player much closer to home, one who had been lighting up the Premier League in flashes of genius and artistry that couldn't be ignored any longer. Eberechi Eze. For months, the Arsenal recruitment department had been quietly, almost obsessively, tracking his every move at Crystal Palace. The whispers had started as far back as April, when scouts returned from Selhurst Park with glowing reports, their notes filled with words like vision, unpredictable, and fearless on the ball. By the time June rolled around, Mikel Arteta had already made up his mind. Eze was not just a potential addition, he was the kind of player who could tilt the balance of tight games, open locked defenses, and add a layer of creative chaos that Arsenal sometimes lacked when their patterns became too predictable. The negotiations were anything but straightforward. Crystal Palace knew exactly what they had: a homegrown talent in his prime, tied to a long contract, adored by the fans, and vital to their attacking identity. The first approaches from Arsenal were met with polite but firm resistance. Sources close to the deal would later reveal that Palace's chairman, Steve Parish, made it clear that if Arsenal wanted Eze, they would have to pay not just a fair price, but a premium worthy of a player who had become their talisman. Behind the scenes, Edu Gasper, Arsenal's sporting director, played the long game, maintaining a constant dialogue with Eze's representatives, gauging the player's interest while testing the waters with Palace. Eze, for his part, kept his cards close to his chest. Publicly, he spoke only about focusing on pre-season with Palace, but privately, he had begun to imagine himself in red and white, feeding passes to Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli, linking up with Martin Odegaard, and perhaps scoring under the lights at the Emirates with the North Bank roaring in approval. The turning point came in mid-July, when Palace reluctantly acknowledged that Arsenal's interest was real, sustained, and backed by serious financial commitment. Reports suggest that an initial bid of £55 million was rejected outright, but a second offer structured with add-ons that could take the deal close to £70 million opened the door. Arteta made his personal pitch directly to Eze over a video call, outlining exactly how he envisioned him fitting into Arsenal's tactical framework. He spoke not just of positions and formations, but of moments drifting between the lines, breaking a stubborn defensive block with a disguised pass, arriving late in the box to score. Arteta told him, "You have the personality for the big moments, and we are building a team for big moments." That conversation sealed it for Eze. He knew then that this was not just another transfer, this was the step he had been working towards since his days in the lower leagues, when the Premier League felt like a dream. The final week before the announcement was a frenzy of behind-the-scenes activity. Arsenal's medical team prepared for a comprehensive evaluation, knowing the scrutiny would be intense for such a high-profile domestic signing. On a humid Monday morning, Eze arrived quietly at London Colney, slipping in through a side entrance to avoid the inevitable swarm of photographers. The medicals were thorough, from cardio and muscle scans to agility tests designed to assess his explosiveness and recovery speed. Arsenal's doctors, meticulous by nature, paid close attention to his ankle and knee stability, given his playing style's reliance on sudden changes of direction. He passed with flying colors, even impressing staff with his conditioning after what had been a grueling pre-season schedule with Palace. By late afternoon, all that remained was the formality of signing the contract, a 5-year deal worth a reported £180,000 a week, with performance-related bonuses linked to goals, assists, and Champions League progression. As the ink dried, attention turned to the shirt number. Arsenal had several options available, but Eze was drawn to the symbolism of the number 10, the shirt worn by legends, the shirt that carried responsibility for creativity and inspiration. The number had been vacant since Emile Smith-Rowe's departure earlier in the summer, and Arteta was deliberate in offering it to Eze. It was both a challenge and a vote of confidence. Wearing the number 10 at Arsenal was not just about style, it was about influence. Eze accepted without hesitation, aware of the history from Dennis Bergkamp's elegance to Mesut Ozil's artistry. It was a mantle he felt ready to carry. When Arsenal finally made the announcement, the club's social media channels erupted. The unveiling video, set to a blend of London grime and cinematic orchestration, showed Eze walking through the Emirates tunnel, fingertips brushing the walls, before stepping out onto the pitch in full kit. Fans flooded the comments with excitement, memes, and bold predictions. Some imagined him linking up with Saka for double-digit assists, others dreamed of him curling in a winner against Tottenham. At the stadium shop, pre-orders for the new Eze 10 shirt spiked so quickly that staff had to prepare an emergency restock plan. But transfers are not just about fanfare, they are about fit. Arteta's plans for Eze were intricate. In training, he experimented with using Eze both as a left-sided attacking midfielder in a 4-3-3 and as a roaming number 10 in a more fluid 4-2-3-1. His ability to carry the ball at pace, draw defenders, and release runners made him a natural link between midfield and attack. In some sessions, he was paired closely with Odegaard, the two of them interchanging positions to confuse the defensive shape of the training opposition. Saka and Martinelli, Arsenal's wide threats, quickly adapted to his rhythm, knowing that his close control could buy them those extra seconds to find space. Havertz, playing as a false nine in certain drills, benefited from Eze's disguised through balls into the penalty area. The squad welcomed him warmly, though the competition for attacking places remained fierce. There were murmurs about how Fabio Vieira and Leandro Trossard might see their minutes reduced, but Arteta stressed that depth was crucial for a season in which Arsenal aimed to fight on multiple fronts: the Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, and League Cup. In private, the manager was confident that Eze's versatility and personality would make him not just a luxury option, but a decisive one. Financially, the transfer was a statement of intent. Spending close to £70 million on a domestic player signaled that Arsenal were no longer hesitant to invest heavily in proven Premier League talent. It also opened new commercial possibilities. Eze's appeal extended beyond football: his style, his connection to London's urban culture, and his Nigerian heritage offered Arsenal opportunities to strengthen their global brand, particularly in African markets where the club already enjoyed a strong following. Talks with potential sponsors hinted at collaborations that could feature Eze prominently, bridging sport and culture. As the season's opener approached, the atmosphere at the Emirates was electric. In the final pre-season friendly, Eze played 45 minutes against Sevilla, drawing applause with every touch. A deft turn in midfield to evade two markers, a perfectly weighted ball to release Saka, a cheeky nutmeg on a retreating defender — these were glimpses of why Arsenal had fought so hard to bring him in. The media coverage reflected the anticipation. Pundits debated whether Eze could become the missing piece in Arsenal's title challenge, while some cautioned against expecting too much too soon. Yet for all the tactical analysis and commercial talk, the heart of the story was simple: Arsenal had signed a player who loved to play with joy. And joy, as any Arsenal fan would tell you, had always been at the core of the club's greatest eras. Whether he was dancing past defenders, sliding a pass between tight lines, or scoring a curling effort from 20 yards, Eze brought a sense of unpredictability that could not be coached. It was instinct, honed over years of hard work, setbacks, and persistence. In the months to come, the true measure of this transfer would be seen in results. But on that summer day in August 2025, as the sun set over the Emirates and the giant screens flashed his image in red and white, it felt like more than just a signing. It felt like a declaration. Arsenal were here to create, to entertain, and to win, and Eberechi Eze, in his new number 10 shirt, was ready to play his games.